There are some incredible upgrades coming to the DJ Studio software very soon, and I have been granted a little bit of a behind the scenes look at their testing site so I can share with you some of these feature upgrades today. Very, very exciting stuff. Now, for full upfront disclosure and transparency, DJ Studio #1 are not sponsoring this video, and they have not asked me to make this video. I actually pay for DJ Studio out of my own money. And when I started using it, I absolutely love the platform. And so I signed up to their affiliate program. So if you are interested in getting this software for yourself, use my link down in the description down below. Use KARLTHOMAS at checkout and you will bag yourself a discount. In terms of being able to show you behind the scenes as to what is coming next on the platform on their testing site, I was just genuinely interested, and so I reached out to them in terms of what's next for the platform. We had a bit of an email exchange that led on to me having a phone call with their CEO and founder, Seabrand. Lovely guy, had a really good conversation with him last week, and then he granted me access to their testing platform. Of course, it's not fully ready yet. That's why it hasn't been deployed to live. So there are a few little glitches in there, but they're all being worked through, fine-tuned, so it'll be ready for you guys very, very soon. But they have given me permission, because I asked them about making a video, so I can at least give you a bit of a sneak peek in terms of behind the scenes. That is enough of me talking. Let's jump on, and I'm going to show you some of the cool new features. There's loads of them. I can't talk about all of them, but I'm going to show you some of the ones that really have stood out for me. Let's get into it. Okay, so welcome into DJ Studio. This is the test version of the site that they've granted me access to. So as I mentioned, some of these features, well, all of these features that I'm going to talk about today are not publicly available just yet, but they will be very soon. First and foremost, before we dive in, they have rebuilt the audio engine from the ground up. That is under the hood. I can't physically show it to you, but yes, things are going to sound a lot better on this new update to DJ Studio because they've redone all of the audio engine tech underneath the hood. So first and foremost, when we go on to create new, we get the two options, mashup or DJ mix. That is publicly available now. So if you go onto DJ Studio, you do get those two options. When I first filmed videos on DJ Studio, these weren't options, but they are now. It was always possible to make mashups in DJ Studio, but you just had to carry out a few extra steps to remove the transition window because, of course, when this software was founded, it was predominantly for DJ mixes. It's always been very easy to make mashups, but at least that separates the two now, but that is publicly available. So let's go on to DJ Mix first and foremost. Now, DJ Studio has always had fantastic integrations with Rekordbox, Serato libraries, Beatport, etc. But we are taking things now to the next level with some further integration. So if I click onto Beatport, for example, that actually brings in the Beatport shop. So first and foremost, what's really cool is you can actually do a bit of a try before you buy. So for example, we've got the Beatport top 10 here. Of course, this is updated in real time with Beatport. So say, for example, if you wanted to bring in the Beatport #1, Like I Like It by Mal P, you can actually add that little preview that's available on Beatport into your DJ mix. So you can start making mashups, DJ mixes with the preview. So it's very much a try before you buy. Now, if you want to go on and purchase that track, gone are the days now where you need to then go onto Beatport, purchase the track, come back onto DJ Studio and then import the track. You can actually, as you can see here, add these tracks to a cart within DJ Studio. And not only that, it goes one step further. It will always search your local files, so your Rekordbox library, to make sure that you don't have the track before you go on to purchase. So it will just check, which is really good. It's a one-stop shop, and I think this is really good for trying stuff out. If you like it, then you can buy it. If you don't like it, then you don't have to buy it. Brilliant little integration there. Couple of other things, you've got the top 100 charts. So if you're making mixes for radio shows and it's a chart-based show, you've got all access to the Shazam charts, the Billboard charts, Beatport, BeatSource, Crate Hackers, Spotify. 1001 track list. Loads of cool stuff here. So all of the charts are going to be at your fingertips, which is really good. Also, if you've got a Crate Hackers account, I think this is particularly good for mobile DJs. You've got different categories here. So you can log into your Crate Hackers account and say, for example, you've been asked to play at, I don't know, a wedding. Click on here. That will bring up all of the Crate Hackers wedding suggested playlists. Now, of course, I don't have access to all of them because I don't have an account with Crate Hackers. But what's really cool is you can start creating a bit of a mix that is going to be suitable for your wedding based on their recommendations. So if I say, I don't know, I'm doing a disco wedding, it will search that playlist, it will bring it in. There we go. And here we have all of the tracks that are in that playlist and all of the tracks that are available via BeatSource, which is, in my opinion, incredible. Now, I don't have access to beyond 15 tracks because I don't have an account with Crate Hackers, but if you do, all of the tracks will be displayed here. So I feel like this is unlocking a lot of potential with regards to music discovery, in addition to buying the tracks all in one platform, and also a lot of creative possibilities because you can test out mixes, test out mashups before even committing to a purchase. And of course, it will always look at your library to make sure that you don't own the tracks first. So in my opinion, brilliant. Let's go back onto that Beatport top 10. And I'm going to import that preview now that I've mentioned. So that top number one, Like I Like It by Malp. Let's bring that into the mix. So that is going to analyze with mixed in key if you've got that mixed in key account. So here we go, we've got the mix here, and also you can add it to the cart within the view there. Look at that. So that's pretty cool. Now, one thing that you will notice first and foremost is that the colors have changed somewhat compared to the previous iteration of DJ Studio. It looks very much like a CDJ 3000. It's a nice little color palette there. And then the stems you can show here. Now, if you remember on the very first version of DJ Studio, you had to have the transition window in order to open up the stems. That's now gone. So you can now show the stems. It's going to just split the audio. My laptop is a little bit slow. This will probably be quicker on yours, but it's just going to split up the audio there, and it will show you the stems, which is incredible considering this is a preview track. So there we have the stems, and as you can see there, that the stems have also changed in color somewhat, a little bit less kindergarten, shall we say, and a little bit more professional looking in my opinion. The other cool thing is if I just go back to the main view there, if I copy a portion of this track and copy that to the I'm on a trackpad, so it's a little bit awkward for me. Just clicking here. But say I wanted to copy that to the sample lane, you now have the stems availability within the sample lane there as well. So just to show you that. Now, the other really, let me just delete that. The really cool thing as well within the stems, and this is really going to help a lot, is we now also have automation within the individual stems. So say, for example, you're not actually making a mashup, you're just making a little edit, for example, and you wanted to remove the drums as an example from this part of the track. You can see here that you're creating these little automation points here. So getting much more like a music producer's DAW here. So you can see here I've now pretty much ducked the drums from that portion of the track. So if I play this part of the track, the drums will duck out and then they'll come back in. That actually sounded all right, didn't it? So if you want to duck out the drums for that bit of the build-up or something like that, you can do these cool little edits. And the same goes for if, say, for example, I wanted to copy the vocals to that sample lane. If I right-click on that, I can also add the volume and these other automations. So we can add a filter, a high effect, mid effect, pitch it down, pitch it up, all within the sample lane. So say for example, and it's exactly the same control that you get in the main track. So say for example, you're creating little vocal stabs and you get little popping noises when the vocals chop in and out. You can duck out the volume to fine tune those elements, so you can really manipulate that. You've got a lot more control over it. Let's delete that and go back up to the main track. Now, if I look at the track, the track options here, we also now have the addition of phrase generation. So before, we used to have phrases within DJ Studio. However, it was always imported by rekordbox. So you had to analyze the phrases within rekordbox, and then it would import that phrase information. Now, if I click here, it says updating. It's now going to analyze the phrases directly within DJ Studio. So you have to have the stems information off there. It doesn't show at the bottom of the stems because of course you can manipulate the stems. But yes, the phrase information there. So you've got the verse, you've got the chorus, so it analyzes it. And also what's really cool is if you click on that phrase, it highlights the whole piece. And then you can, of course, you can then copy those phrases into the sample lanes, or you can copy the drums, copy the bass, copy the melody. So just makes editing a lot more seamless, in my opinion. Moving across then from the phrase generation, we've also got these different pitch modes that are coming to DJ Studio. So basically this is using a technology called rubber band. Effectively, when you change the pitch of the tempo, of the track, if you don't want to affect the key, you need to basically re-pitch the track. So these are just some tools to help you with that. So if I click the advanced settings here, let's click there. You can see here we have got some parameters that we can set there. These are the default parameters, but you can re-pitch according to the drums, or you can isolate just the melody and the vocals there. To be honest, a lot of people probably won't notice you know, this unless you're making really drastic changes, but the musicians out there, you know, will probably notice this. I certainly don't notice, you know, minor fluctuations in pitch myself because, well, my hearing's not as good as it used to be. We also have beat slice. This is where if you want to change the tempo but keep the original pitch, you've got that. You've got vinyl mode there, so things behave like vinyl, so that's where the pitch and the tempo change together. And then you've also got Elastic Pro, which is Ableton basically technology. Oh, there's a little bug there. As I mentioned, this is a beta testing site, so that won't happen in the live site when that happens. But Elastic Pro is Z-Plane's time shifting and pitch stretching technology. Basically, in Ableton, they use something called Complex Pro. So it's very, very similar to that. It's pretty much identical to that as far as I am aware. One final key thing that I want to show you for today's demonstration is the beat gridding. Now, DJ Studio has got a really effective beat gridding algorithm in place to help things stay in time, especially when making mashups and edits. However, if we zoom in to the beat grid, see here, we now have the beat grid and we have these yellow markers. Now, the yellow markers were fixed in position before. However, we can now manipulate individual beats within the beat grid. So say, for example, you're messing around with a track that's got live instruments and the drummer was having an off day, or say the vocalist didn't quite start on beat and you just need to shift things ever so slightly. You can now do this with individual beats. See here, I am adjusting the beat width of that individual beat. So if I move that and drop it, you can see there, it has shifted the whole width of the beat. Now, if I start playing the track, it's going to sound a bit awful, but this is really good for just making ever so slight manual adjustments, or maybe if you're playing around with 1 or 2 bars of music. I wouldn't recommend doing this, you know, across a whole track. Of course, you wouldn't do that. It would take ages. And also, the quantizing and the you know, the beat gridding is pretty accurate in DJ Studio, but you can do this manually as well. So it's an extra tool, so nothing, you know, has to snap so rigidly into place. There's a bit of flexibility there. You can also set the downbeat. So say, for example, if it didn't quite analyze it correctly, you can set the downbeat so when things start, and also as well set the first beat as well if you want to do that. So a few more flexible things in terms of beat gridding when you zoom in too, just to make things super accurate and super in time. So I think you will agree there's some really exciting and innovative updates coming to DJ Studio. It is certainly evolving at a fast pace. I love how they are constantly making the platform better and better, and also keeping that ease of use in mind for working DJs, so you can do stuff very, very quickly and easily on the platform. If you have made it this far, please do give this video a thumbs up. It will help to spread the word among other like-minded individuals. Remember, if you want DJ Studio, use the link down in the description down below. Use my code KARLTHOMAS at checkout for a discount, and I will catch you in the next video.